Our brain is our most important organ, yet for many people it does not work well. One reason can be infections with stealth-adapted viruses. Hello, I'm Dr. W. John Martin. The topic, stealth-adapted viruses, brain diseases, and the alternative cellular energy pathway. Stealth-adapted viruses are derived from regular viruses but have lost or mutated the genes coding for the relatively few virus components that are normally targeted by the cellular immune system. Consequently, these viruses do not evoke inflammation, the hallmark of an infection. Stealth-adapted viruses cause relatively little tissue damage. The limited damage in most organs is compensated by increased activity elsewhere in the organ. This doesn't apply to the brain, however, because of its complex organization. Different regions in the brain and different nerve connections control the muscles, the sensory input, the autonomic regulation of the various organs, cognitive skills, and emotions. These functions can be variously impacted depending upon the region or the regions of the brain with the virus-induced damage. Individuals also vary widely in the susceptibility of the different brain activities to malfunction. Even with more generalized brain infections, individuals are likely to show symptoms of the function for which they have the least functional reserve. The diversity of symptoms in stealth-adapted virus-infected patients is clearly seen in cross-infected family members. Stealth-adapted viruses can produce a variety of symptoms. I can list 6. First is this reduced ability to think clearly and to remember. If severe, this becomes dementia. Number 2 is mistaking imaginary thoughts and sensations in the mind for reality. This is psychosis. Number 3, increased sensitivity to pain. Number 4 is a general loss of happiness that can evolve into depression. In bipolar patients, episodes of depression are interspersed with episodes of emotional hyperexcitability. Number 5 is the absence of empathy and that humane respect for other people. This removes one of the barriers and can encourage senseless, mindless criminal behavior. 6. Autism and diseases in children born of infected parents. In addition, there's a variety of other symptoms that can occur. Some from the impaired autonomic regulation of the gastrointestinal tract and/or the cardiovascular system. There's muscle weakness, there's sensory losses, there's epilepsy, poor sleep, and post-exertion fatigue. Both mental and physical fatigue occurring following exercise is a prominent feature of the chronic fatigue syndrome. In some patients, this can be temporarily relieved using opiates. This, together with the stealth virus-induced increased sensitivity to pain, are contributing factors to the opiate epidemic. Now, public health authorities were notified of stealth-adapted viruses over 20 years ago. They were told the viruses are present in patients with a variety of brain illnesses in addition to what other genetic factors might be involved. A prime example was a stealth-adapted African green monkey simian cytomegalovirus, a type of herpes virus. It was repeatedly cultured from a patient with the chronic fatigue syndrome. A similar monkey virus was cultured from a comatose patient with a 4-year history of a bipolar psychosis. A sample of that virus was sent to the Los Angeles County Public Health Laboratory for their analysis. The public health response? One of disdain, disbelief, no interest. It became clear that the real underlying hesitation was that finding of a monkey virus clearly implicated prior errors with the polio vaccines, such that it seemed likely now that some batches of polio vaccines were contaminated with monkey cytomegalovirus. The concern went further. It went to the possible cytomegalovirus contamination of the experimental polio vaccine tested in African chimpanzees. This concern is because chimpanzees are the animals from which HIV arose. The following diagram was not welcomed when presented. Even though the cellular immune system is generally non-responsive to stealth-adapted viruses, the viruses can still be suppressed through the alternative cellular energy pathway. This pathway is a source of cellular energy that is different from the energy from food metabolism. It's expressed as an added dynamic or kinetic quality of the body's fluids. It can be enhanced using various methods, including the utilization of specifically activated water. The alternative cellular energy or ACE pathway is effective against stealth-adapted viruses, but is also showing benefits in patients with regular viruses, including HIV and herpes. Moreover, the ACE pathway can boost the overall level of functioning of the brain. Hopefully, the prospect of an effective therapy will help overcome the complacency of the government in their unwillingness to learn more about stealth-adapted viruses. ACE pathway therapies are inexpensive compared to the profit-driven cost of conventional therapies for brain diseases. Big Pharma, therefore, is unlikely to want to get involved. Patient support groups could help in conducting some of the clinical trials aimed to optimize therapeutic protocols. Information on stealth-adapted viruses and on the alternative cellular energy pathway is available on the internet. Further inquiries can be addressed to wjohnmartin@ccid.org. Thank you very much.